Hey, hi, hello, Happy New Year, Happy 2025, Happy February. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I bring to you a build from 2024 that I never posted because the voiceover file was so bad that I decided not to post it. So this is voiceover round 2. I realized that I did not have a software installed for my headphones, so I was getting really bad feedback into my headphones and I could hear myself talking and it was really bad. The audio was clicking and clacking, but here we are. I hope you all had a good start to the new year. I know that I have made some hefty goals for myself this year. I don't know if I will keep them. We are only 1 month in, so anything can happen. But the build I have for you today is 2 townhomes, and I want to preface this by saying that I know that they are pink and green, and I did not build them after Wicked came out, nor did I build them around Wicked's release. This was merely a coincidence and a color combination that I really liked. But I would also like to say that I am very much obsessed with Wicked now, and I can't wait for part 2 to come out in November. I wish it wasn't so far away. But talking about the build for a second, I built this with a thought in mind that a family lives in both of the townhomes. One side has the parents and the youngest sibling and their family dog, while the other side is home to their oldest child who wanted a taste of freedom but wasn't quite ready to leave the nest just yet. The pink side has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, while the other side has a lofted bedroom space and 1 bathroom. The story I had in my head was that the parents bought this house when it was just the one side, like the pink side, and over time, as they had their kids, they had a dog. My cats are running around in the background and making a lot of noise right now for some reason. The family added on to the house. They added that little orange bit in between the pink and the green, and then they just added a full-on second side to the house that gave them a lot more living space. And then when their oldest kid wanted to move out, they renovated the greenhouse into its own little house. They gave it a kitchen, a living space, and that is where basically this entire idea came. And I did fix the microphone on my headphones. However, I don't know if it is going to pick up my cats being absolute disasters behind me running through their cat tunnel. I should have known recording a video at 8:30 p.m. during their crackhead hour was bad, but here we are. And as you can see, the colors are finally on the building. We have the green, we have the pink. I did cut out a lot of this speed build. I was having a lot of difficulty choosing colors. I was having a lot of difficulty choosing windows. The floor plans were a disaster. I couldn't figure them out to save my life. It took me forever. But I did end up with the 2 townhome thing. I originally was just gonna have this be like a 1 story, not like a 1 story, but like one house, not 2 separate houses. But then I was just kind of looking at the floor plan and it just wasn't really vibing. Like wasn't really making sense in my head to make this one big giant house with the way it was shaped. So that's where I came in with the 2 townhouse plan. And as you can see, I'm figuring out the stairs right now. This side of the house in particular, this house I struggled a lot with. This second, the main, I guess you could say the main townhouse, the pink one, I struggled so much with the floor plan. I struggled with how to decorate it, but we'll get into that when we get to it. As you can see, I'm trying to figure out where I want the kitchen. Like, I knew I wanted the kitchen in that back corner area, but like I just didn't know how I wanted it in there. But I managed to make it work. The upstairs came together really easy. 2 bedrooms, a bathroom. It's all good. I liked how it looked. It was just figuring out the downstairs because I was like, I can't move the stairs now, so we got to work with what we have. In the middle, the orange bit, I just turned it into basically like a second entrance between the two houses. I don't exactly know how that'll work with the townhouses. Um, I haven't really played in townhouses that much in this game. We've had for rent forever now, it seems like, and I still don't really play with them all that much because they're really buggy. Um, but as you can see, we have worked a little bit on the landscaping already. I cut a lot of that out because I didn't know what I wanted the landscaping to look like. But this greenhouse, I wanted it to be covered in plants on the outside. I wanted it to look really earthy. I wanted it to have like a overgrown vibe to it. Like the young sim who lives here really likes to garden because I can't build a house and not make my sim love gardening, because gardening for some reason is like one of like the only hobbies you can really showcase in a build. And I mean, like, yeah, I could make my sim a scientist, but like, where am I gonna put that giant microscope thing? Like, I'm not gonna build an entire room just for the microscope. Um, so the sim that lives in the greenhouse really likes to garden. And then also I wanted to decorate the inside to make it look like a young person lived there. So I went with a lot of bold colors, bold patterns. I used a lot of Tiny Living and Dream Home Decorator in here. I also wanted it to feel like the mom kind of designed the house for her kid, because although I didn't come up with personalities for the parents, I did imagine that the mom was like an interior designer and she thinks she's like really good at it. She thinks she's like the best interior designers, that everybody wants her, she knows design and style, but then you're gonna go look at her house and you're gonna be like, ma'am, I don't think so. That's because I literally had inspiration for the greenhouse, and I literally had inspiration for the little kid's bedroom in the pink house, and that was it. I struggled so much with the pink house decorating. It was bad. Um, but it does come out in the end. I think it actually looks really nice. It looks really homey. I ended up having to step away for a little bit, and I came back and I kind of just started to throw stuff together, and it looks like a family would live there. It just looks really cozy and homey. But we are decorating the greenhouse right now. And me saying greenhouse makes it sound like I'm actually in a greenhouse, but this is the minty greenhouse, which honestly would kind of be perfect for the Not So Berry challenge if you're playing the Not So Berry challenge, because this house is like green on the inside, it's green on the outside. It's perfect for it. You would just have to live next to somebody who really likes pink, at least on the outside, anyways. Um, but I was struggled for a little bit to find like a window treatment to put on the windows, and then I eventually was just like, nothing works, so I just didn't put anything there. And then I put this big cabinet right here that matches the other ones. I really like this kitchen actually. While there's like not a lot going on, it's kind of cozy. It also looks like a place where a young person would live, because I just don't think a young person would have a lot of clutter in their kitchen to start off with. So I feel like that's realistic. I mean, I know when I moved into my first apartment, I had like barely anything in there because I couldn't afford anything to go in my kitchen quite yet. Um, but here we are. I'm gonna hang up some aprons, and then we're gonna be moving into the actual like living space where I put the dining table, and then I start decorating the living room. And then for this sim in particular, I pictured this sim to have a lot of like creative endeavors. Specifically, I pictured them being a song producer and a streamer, so I give them the song mixing station from Get Famous, which after building this house, I went and I created a save where I had a sim whose whole money making scheme was being that music producer, and it actually worked quite well. She made a lot of money. However, she did end up falling in love with her Zoomer's delivery driver because she hated cooking, so every single day she would order out food and the same delivery driver would show up and drop the bag of food off at her house. And I was like, hey, he's kind of cute. So then we like started talking and stuff. She was also a party girl, so she threw a lot of parties. Like I was trying to make her throw almost every single type of party that she could. And she would always invite him, and I would always catch them like talking to each other. It was very cute, very wholesome. So I had her ask him out on a date, and then they ended up falling in love, and they had like babies, and they got married. So the music career kind of like fell to the side, and then she got dropped by three different labels because I just kept not putting out music when they told me to. So I just like gave that up, and she just became I think she started making videos on the streamer station from Get Famous. Um, and that's how she made her money. I haven't played with them in a while because like I'm just like I feel like her story's kind of like done. She's got a husband, she's got two kids. They live in this really lavish apartment in San Myshuno. So I feel like their story's kind of done. So they're just kind of sitting there. Um, I hope that she doesn't meet the demise of all my other saves that I've stopped playing, which is I go through and I like delete them if I haven't played in like a while or I feel like I'm just not going to come back to them, which I really need to like once I finish a family in a save, I really should just like go in and like start a new family in that same save instead of just opening saves up and stuff because then like, you know, I can have like actual like lore in family like good family trees and stuff, but I just don't ever think to do that. I just like delete the families and I'm like, whoop, they're gone forever. Um, but anyways, let's talk about the build for a second. This sim, as you can see, has a very colorful sofa, very colorful chair. They've got some signed gaming posters hanging up on the wall because they are a streamer. I feel like this sim goes to university. They don't really want to make music producing and streaming. They're like full-time jobs. They're just kind of like hobbies right now to get them by to pay the rent to their parents. Um, because although the parents are letting them live here, I don't think the parents are letting them live here for free. Unfortunately, the parents are making them pay rent, so they gotta pay the bill somehow. So they got the music producing station. I feel like they're a streamer on the side, and they're also going to university. So they've got a lot on their plate. They're doing a lot of stuff. What are they going to university for? I don't particularly know. They're probably just trying to get a degree in something because they probably have like these hobbies, like they're passions, but they're probably super passionate about something else and they're going to university for it to make that their full-time job while these are just hobbies. Because like sometimes you have hobbies and you don't want them to be like a job. You just want them to be a hobby because once they become a job, sometimes they're just not fun anymore. Um, and then it becomes like a chore. So I feel like that for them, music producing and streaming is just gonna be a hobby for them. It's never gonna make them all the money that they need to live. It's just like a right now money making thing. I'm talking super in depth about this, and it's literally just a video game. But anyways, we are upstairs in the lofted bedroom. I use a lot of greens in here. I don't know why I was going with all out on the color theming for this particular townhouse. But here we are. I also put a pride flag on the wall. And then over here on this banister, I found out that the objects slot to this banister. And I don't know if it's just this banister in particular or if it's all the banisters in the game. But when I was trying to clutter up this mid-century dresser, all the clutter items kept snapping to the railing when I was trying to like alt place them, which I think honestly having slotting on a railing in a banister seems just like really neat to me, but when you are trying to alt place items onto a dresser, it's very, very annoying. Um, so I ended up going in and deleting the entire banister just so I can alt place all this clutter, and then I end up putting it back, obviously. Uh, but yeah, I just thought that was really like a really weird and neat thing. I don't know if it's all been like that, if it has always been like that, I just haven't noticed it. But I think this is the railing from, I think that's either the for rent railing or the life and death railing because I did build this, I want to say like a week, like a week after, or like a couple days after Life and Death came out. I wasn't really into like, I love Life and Death. Like Life and Death, I love the furniture pieces, but I wasn't crazy about building in the world. I had a couple builds for that world. Like I was trying to build in that world, but like nothing was really just like I wasn't vibing with any of it. It's not really my build style, so I don't have any builds for that world. So I was just like, I'm gonna build this instead because this is more of like in my comfort zone, which is funny because like I kind of build like every single type of house imaginable. There's not really a particular type of house that is my vibe, but like for some reason just the life and death, I was not vibing with it at the time. I'm still to this day struggling with trying to build a house in the life and death world to make it match the vibes. However, I will say the one house, rip to my grim rewards event sim, I did accidentally, haha, didn't accidentally, I just straight up deleted her save. Her house I did match the vibe. I gave her like a pool with like the cool little like glass, it's all the glass stuff that came with it, like the greenhouse broken glass stuff. I think the house looked really cool, but I deleted it because it was just purging a whole bunch of saves, I guess. But we are done with the greenhouse, and now we are back into the pink house, and now here comes the struggle. This kitchen in particular, I knew I wanted the house to have like pinks and oranges and like reds in them, but these counters, I wasn't vibing with these counters, but I made them work. I made the counters work, even though I really was like, I don't know if these counters are gonna stick. I actually had to leave and then come back to the kitchen. Like I started decorating it and it was all fine and dandy, but then I was just like, ooh, I don't know. I like had to step away because I was almost at the point where like I was just gonna bulldoze this entire half of the house and start over. Like it would almost reach that point, but I was like, don't. You've already done so much work. You've already put a lot of effort into the outside, into the other part of the house that you just need to take a step back. Go do something else. So I start decorating the kitchen here. I'm putting a bunch of clutter on the counters. I'm trying to make it look like a little kid lives here with the parents, but also trying to keep it like very minimal with the clutter because I feel like the oldest kid kind of got their neat, no clutterness from like the dad who lives here, because I pictured the dad being more of like the neat sim, whereas the mom likes chaos and stuff. And you'll see over here in this nook, I do something so cute in this kitchen that I'm actually like really proud of. It's on the other side of the kitchen, on the blank wall between like the makeshift pillar that I make out of the walls. I put like a little counter setup with like a laptop and some like crafty stuff, and it looks like a really cute home office, and I'm like really proud of it. I think it looks so cute. We're actually about to start on it here in a second because this is where I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm vibing with this, so I just like step away from it. And this is where I put the cute little cluttery thing. I used the matching counters. I put one bar stool because I didn't want it to look too cluttered, because literally right next to here is where we put the dining room. And I didn't want there to be so many chairs because I do fall into the trap of putting too much seating in a small space. Like I'll have like a living room, and then right next to it is the dining table, and then right next to that is like the island with the like bar stools. It's just so much seating. So I only put one bar stool here, which kind of looks a little bit odd, but also I think it makes it look like a desk area. And then here I am putting all the clutter. I have those popsicle stick flowers. I have the little horsey arts and crafts thing. I have the interior design pile of crap, and then some just the pencil holder. I also think I put a lunchbox and a box underneath the little cabinet hutch. I also put some binders over here, so it's like you can do your homework in this spot if you would like to. It's just a really nice little cozy workspace because I don't actually have an office space in this house. I have this area with the laptop, and then I have a desk in the living room. But we are in a second going to be jumping upstairs to the child's room. And this room I was actually really excited about because I wanted it to be bold and I wanted it to be loud. So I gave it these hot pink walls, used to this bed that I never use, especially in a swatch that I don't use. I also wanted to pair it with a lot of black accents. Like, I wanted to make this space fun and childlike. I feel like there aren't a lot of loud, obnoxious kids' rooms in my Sims game, so I made this. And I say that after literally just decorating my not so berry purple Jen's house because they were living in Strangerville because the gray Jen, she's like retired, she's old. She beat the mother plant, and I was just gonna have them finish out in like Strangerville and then have the orange Jen move to the apartment when they became a young adult. But there's apparently a glitch in Strangerville where even if you defeat the mother plant, the vines just kept coming up in my sinks, toilets, and my showers, and I was so sick and tired of cleaning them out that I just moved them to a beach house. But all of this to say that I just built a beach house and I made the kids' room obnoxiously orange. Like it's so obnoxious. So this is not the only vibrant house that's in my Sims game. Um, I also pictured this room to be more for a tween, but that life stage kind of doesn't exist. My cat's being so obnoxious right now. And I don't think they will ever put the tween stage in there. I mean, like, could you imagine them adding another one? They would have to shorten the life stages even more. Like, babies would be born and then instantly turn into infants. Like, that sounds like an absolute nightmare. Which, speaking of nightmares, it's The Sims 25th birthday this month. That game's been around for so long, and it makes me feel old. Like I genuinely feel so old. Um, and they just re-released Sims 1 and Sims 2 onto PC, and they are flawlessly working without any bugs at all. I mean, fortunately for me, I can say that I haven't experienced a single bug yet, knock on wood. However, I've only messed around in Sims 2. I haven't really tried Sims 1 yet, which I never really got to play the expansion packs for it. So I'm a little bit excited. I was a vanilla Sims 1 girly. um, I'm probably going to try it later and hope for the best. But as for Sims 2, the only real glitchy bug that I've found out about is whenever I like 3 times speed or like spin the game around too fast, the game freezes and like pauses for a second, and every single time I think it's gonna crash, I'm like, oh, this is it. Um, Also, I changed the graphic settings. They were setting on low, and I'm like, dang, this game did not transfer over well into like modern day PCs. But it was because I had my graphics settings on super low, so I changed them to super high, and then I really thought I broke the game because then it froze for like a really long time, and I was like, oh, well, this is the end. Um, but no, it's working fine. I'm sure there will be some bugs later, like with my Sims 3 game. Rip to my Sims 3 game. Can't even play that game anymore. I don't know the hot fixes. I keep trying to look for all the hot fixes, but I can't find them. But anyways, happy birthday to The Sims. Congrats on having a fully developed frontal lobe. I wish your games came with a fully developed frontal lobe at launch, I say, with all of the love and respect in the world because I love these games so much. But back to the build. I basically talked through the entire end of that bedroom that I was really excited about. But it is very colorful, it's very loud, it's got a lava lamp, it's got a unicorn, it's got butterflies on the wall, boy band posters, everything you need in a kid's bedroom. And here we are in the parents' room, which is very yellow, which wasn't what my original intention was. However, yellow is my favorite color, and I will do anything to put any type of yellow in a Sims build, regardless of what kind of house it is, because I just love yellow so much. And also, this bed is like in this yellow color is just so pretty, and that rug, love it. More Dream Home Decorator stuff. Also, as you can tell, this house uses a lot of packs. Did not limit myself on packs. I haven't been doing that lately. There are older builds on my channel where I have done base game plus 1 pack. I was trying to do that for a little bit, and then I kind of ran out of inspiration right when I was about to hit. I think I was about to do Get Famous, but that world, absolute disaster. Absolutely could not for the life of me build a good house with just Get Famous and base game because I was like, I could build a mansion, but the mansions are like ginormous. And then I was like, I'm just gonna go build a little tiny house, but the lot is so large. Like it was frustrating, so I had to take a step back. I had to stop. I might come back to it later because my last one I believe was my cats and dogs vet build, which got so many freaking downloads. I don't understand why, but thanks for downloading it. But anyways, we are down here in the living room finishing up the last bits of the house. Um, this living room area kind of gave me a bit of a struggle, but I just ended up using the couch from Parenthood. That's a side table from Kids Room Stuff, I believe. And yeah, I just kind of decorate this as if like a family is sitting here. I put a little tiger chair with like little rainbow stripes. There's a desk that goes by the stairs. And then I also put a pet bed, and I believe I put a hamster down from My First Pet Stuff. I think it's the hamster anyways. It could be one of like the other like 4 other animals. But the only part of this house that we don't see in this video is we do not see the entryway, because that entryway was a struggle and a half. I got to that entryway and I was just like, my brain was fried. I was so tired. All the inspiration for this house just like went out the window, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna put in here. So I like struggled for a bit. I had a piano in there at one point. I had a chess table. I had art easel. I just had bookcases all over the place. I tried like several different bookcases. Um, I think in the end I kept the piano and the chess table, and I kept one bookcase. But like it's kind of just like a hodgepodge of stuff in the entryway. I mean, it still looks decent. It still looks nice. You can see it in the screenshot at the end. I think it's like one of the very first screenshots at the end. Um, but yeah, I just don't keep that in the video because it just seemed really unnecessary, and I'm not really that too pleased with it, but it's an entryway and it works for the house. But here we are in the little office nook. I put the desk by the windows. I love these windows because I love how when you put them on like the right side of the house with the sun shining through, the little light reflecting on that, gorgeous. Honestly, when you have the lighting in this game set on like the high or like the what is it, like ultra or ultimate or whatever the super high setting is, the lighting just looks great. It looks beautiful. I love it. But we are coming to the end of the video. I'm just going to be putting down that pet that I talked about along with the hamster gerbil rodent rat mysterious void critter cage thing, and that is pretty much it. I did less talking about the build in this video than I normally do, and just a whole lot of yapping. I haven't sat down and done one of these since I posted my the one I did before the Christmas build that I put out. But I hope you enjoyed this speed build. If you didn't listen to me yapping, you just watched this on YouTube, you're turning the sound back on. Hi, hello. Thank you for watching my video. I will be posting more this year. At least that is the goal. I don't know when I will be posting regularly because I used to post a video Monday and Thursday, but now I don't do that anymore because of my job. But we'll just see. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!